It's like she was on a roller coaster and it was getting faster and faster and she was getting older and more out of control. I understand that now. Me, Mum and Dusty Springfield is a one-woman show. It's a black comedy that explores the life of the character Mary, who's lost her mother to breast cancer. And her mother was quite an interesting character throughout her life, quite dominant, didn't really allow Mary to have her own life. And this is like just before they scatter the ashes, and it's Mary trying to really put together everything that's happened in her life before she can finally move on. She's dead. I stand there with blood coughed up from my own mother dripping down my face. And I start to laugh. I start to laugh louder and harder than I've ever done. The idea came from my iPod, actually. I was on a train journey listening to Dusty Springfield music. Not that I was like a big fan or anything. And just, I don't know if it was the time or, you know, like the length of time on the journey or the music, but I just thought, what an excellent way to end a show. Now, how do we get to the beginning? Because I'm not sort of a trained singer or anything, so I couldn't have gone, well, I'll try and be Dusty Springfield. So I needed a way to suggest Dusty Springfield, but without it actually, you know, with me trying to stand up and do an amazing singing performance. I think the appeal of Dusty is the fact that she just was such an icon. She was so brilliant in her time, and she sort of transcends the decades, really. And I think the appeal with Dusty, rather than anyone else, is the fact that when you actually look into her life, what an amazing life. You know, I didn't really have to think of loads of stories, because it was just like her life was, well, there's that story, because it was so up and down, you know, she had such a hard time. It was like the lights were on, but no one was home. Or if they were, they weren't getting up and answering the door no matter how hard you knocked. There's a lot of pressure when you write and perform, because there's no one for it to fall back on. So, I mean, a lot of the time you hear actors say, oh, well, the writing was very weak. Or you could hear the writer say, oh, well, the actors weren't quite right. But it's just me, so I can't really blame anyone if you know, it's not to the standard it should be. So I had to work really hard to make it the best it could be. I think a northern audience will really enjoy it, because it is based in the north, particularly Lancashire and the northwest. And I think there was northern humour in there. I mean, a critic did say it was full of northern wit, so hopefully the northern audience will appreciate that more than the sort of international audience at the Fringe. What do you think?